Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is November 14th, 2017, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the economic events of the day, we've got first starting out at 12:30 South African time, yearly CPI number coming out of Great Britain. That's an important number, okay? Inflationary rate number. We'll take a look at that. And then starting at 1 o'clock, we've got a bunch of speakers today, central banks speaking, okay? And we're going to have all simultaneously, at least that's what is on the schedule, is Draghi, Carney, Kuroda, and Fed chairperson Yellen will be speaking, okay? So, that's across the board. That's the euro, that's the GBP, that's the Japanese yen, and that's the US dollar, okay? So all the major pairs are really going to be in effect today. And this may make the market a little bit choppy today, okay? So just expect that. All right. And then at 4:30 South African time, we have monthly PPI number coming out of the United States. That's also an inflationary related number that's coming out. Okay, so that's going to happen later today. But the markets, I do expect a little bit to be indecisive and maybe a little bit even choppy and a little random. Okay, more so than regular. But let's see what's been happening in the markets. So we're looking here at the Euro USD climbing and closing up this area. Okay, and this is what we anticipated yesterday after the head and shoulders move that we mentioned. This would be the head. Okay, this would be one shoulder. Okay, this would be the other shoulder. Not much of a shoulder, but it looks like it was a shoulder, and this would be the continuation. Now, I'd like to see this close up this gap between 1672 and 1691. It's only 20 pips, but it is a gap. Okay, so I mean, after the colossal retracement that we had last week, the nosedive. Now, it is finding itself a little bit of a challenge here, crossing this over above 1672. Okay, so we got to keep an eye on that. Let's see if this does really break out. If it does break out, we could see it closing in into the 1724, 1730-ish level. Okay, got to be realistic with our expectations, as things have really a little bit leveled off, okay, in terms of its trading range. Okay, we're not trading between a 600 to 700 pip range. We're trading between a 50 to 100 pip range. Okay, so that's something that we got to adjust yourself to a ranging market from a trending market. Okay, so keep an eye on that. GBP USD, with the number coming out at 12:30 later today, we're at the bottom of this range, not the full bottom of this range, but as you can see, we're making like this little soft landing here. Okay, right here, here, and here. Okay, so that's really a potential entry point if you're going to play these ranges. Okay, but I would expect some sort of move. And I'd like to see some sort of move in a breakout kind of situation where we're trending again, as opposed to range-bound trading. Okay, so just again, as long as you're realistic with your expectations, you're doing okay. Okay, so we're really in a tight gap right here. If we look at a daily chart, I mean that's a really tight gap. Okay, considering what we went from at the beginning of the year, from 119 to 136. Then retracing back to 130. So, ultimately we're range bound trading. You got to just, play the range and trade the range and be respectful of the range. Okay. And just be a little bit more selective when you do enter a position. Looking at the USD ZAR continuing a little bit, right here of its demise. Okay. If I call it that. All-time year low for the ZAR versus the dollar, 14.49. Okay. So that means the rand is getting weaker, okay, and that's maybe indicative of the price of gold getting weaker, maybe indicative of the JSC going up so high, but we're still at this multi-year resistance level. So when we do break it, and if we do break it, we may gap all the way back to 1525. That's the unfortunate truth, but we look like we're waning here. So this might be a situation where we do correct ourselves. Okay, definitely use the RSI and maybe the MACD to see if there's a little bit of a divergence here on the way down. Okay, so that might be a indication where we might correct itself and maybe go down to 1429 and not break it on the high side, at least for now. Okay, we're not sure what will happen 6 months from now, but at least for now, won't break it on the high side. Looking at the gold, trading at 1276. Okay, so we're flatlining here. Okay, so kind of the same story as what we spoke about with the euro and with the GBP, where we're looking like we're just range bound trading. Okay, so that seems to be the unfortunate truth. Oil here dipping a little bit. Okay, not much, but dipping a little bit and just selling off $1 from its nice rally. Okay. This might be just a breather, okay? But definitely look, if we do continue to break off on a sell-off, excuse me, we may see ourselves back in the $55 range. So keep an eye on this as this unfolds as well. Looking at the Dow Jones, okay, for a Monday, we didn't do much, okay? We're really sideways trading right now, okay? Until we do have some sort of indication that we're going up higher, we're not going up higher, okay? This may be the beginning of just a little bit of a sell-off. I don't expect a bloodbath, but I do expect a little bit of, people taking money off the table, booking their profits from seeing, such a run up like we had over the past year. And I'm looking at the DAX. DAX is actually weak, okay? We've been trading at 1369, okay? So we continued our sell-off, okay, that we had earlier this week, and we kind of saw that, okay? We saw that it was falling out of bed. We saw that it was retracing itself, and this is kind of disconcerting, to tell you the truth, because to have a correctional move after having such a run up is disconcerting. That means there's no follow through here. That means that this was not real buyers, okay? It could have been just a, if you will, okay, excuse my language for saying this, a fluke, okay, which means that there's no follow through. All right, for example, from here, okay, to here, this shows me they're real buyers, okay, because we retraced and yet we continued going up higher, okay? But when we have such a run up and we correct ourselves right afterwards, that doesn't give me a lot of confidence that this is going to go up even higher, okay? That's just many years of my experience just following the market. It just, for some reason, this type of velocity in such a short period of time and no follow up is very indicative of a correctional move maybe, and we may even go lower, okay? So just keep an eye on that as the DAX unfolds this week and maybe brings down the rest of the market. So, I mean, this is not much of a hammer formation right here at the daily chart with this candlestick, but something to just be aware of. Maybe we'll get a bull flag, or we may get a bear flag at 13,200-ish level. Maybe it'll be an opportunity to actually short it, okay? Looking at the JSC also, okay, we're trickling down a little bit, but not really selling off, all right? So until we don't break this 53,926-ish, neckline, as we've been forming right here, previous resistance, okay, right here. Until we don't break this, I don't see that, we necessarily need to go further down. So we may just rally a little bit. Just want to update you guys that we're having a special webinar series this week. It's an educational webinar series. It's being spearheaded, and we will have further webinars being updated for their schedule on our website. This is Fred Razak, and I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.